think fast. There aren't any books on new knowledge. Like, what? There aren't any books on new knowledge? That don't make sense, Universal. What you're talking about? There aren't any books on new knowledge. And I mean, how could there be new knowledge? And what I'm getting at though is basically and when I say new knowledge, information that's new to us in this timeline within the matrix, some information that hasn't been brought back up again from the past, or in essence maybe like some new information, 'cause things change, the body change, all kind of things may change, so there may be new information, so to speak. But reason I'm bringing this up, there are no books on new knowledge because we have to write those books. A lot of us are channeling information, and I thought as I was riding the bus, I thought about how they may have like this big, say for instance, energy center under Los Angeles, say for instance. And even though Mount Shasta is considered a chakra of the earth or whatever, I was like, I bet you LA has a big energy field. And I'm like, but there's no books that promote saying like, hey, there's a ley line. Now, of course there are, because say wherever they build a big city, there's going to be that vibe. And long story short, I'm just giving this as an example. But like, I thought to myself, like, somebody may discover, a new ley line or something, and there's no books like, as far as to our knowledge or what we could attain in this physical 3D matrix, there are no books that speak to some of this information. So getting to the point of like, you have to be strong in your heart's intuition, and be fearless and courageous, with following your heart's intuition and sharing information. Because one little small smidget of fear, could stop a person from sharing information that could change the world, And matter of fact, to that point, that's why the government, constantly try to keep us in a state of fear and traumatization to try to keep people from sharing this type of information. When you traumatized, and you fearful, you're not sitting down. Matter of fact, your body is not clear enough to even channel these type of thoughts to bring forth, let alone, have them and be scared to share them. But it's a situation where you just have to be confident in sharing the information. And I look at myself, and I speaking to myself as well, because there's some cases where it's like information I know that is extremely new. I know that if I make a video on it, it's gonna be unpopular. That's another thing. Like, some of this new information is gonna seem, unpopular the most. Like, I always speak to like how sometimes, information may be unpopular to my own ego and others' egos outside of me as well. But it's like, it is what it is. I gotta share this information because spirit telling me to share it. So it is what it is. No matter how much it may seem like I'm going out there on the limb, if my heart's intuition is telling me to really share this, then I should really share it. So just a message to everybody, man, to stay courageous in your vibration, and to keep that high vibration and meditative state going, or that state that allows for you to channel information clearly. Like, however you do that, I mean, of course there's a common basis of meditation, but to each his own on how you may channel information. But open up them lines and be fearless about sharing that information. Like, because whenever we a little bit disconnected, it could be, again, like the smallest little bit of fear could just stop us from doing, sharing information that could, change the outcome of the whole universe, let alone just things that's going on in this country or on this planet, So definitely just remember to stay in that fearlessness, stay courageous, stay connected to that heart's intuition, and if your own logic and ego's kind of like, nah, you should, don't listen to it. Go with the flow, let it go. What's the worst that could happen? I mean, of course, a lot of us think like, well, and especially like my vibration, I'm definitely one of those people like, but not to the point of sharing information, but let's say, for instance, I don't like to be embarrassed or whatever, but in the sense of sharing like information like this, I don't care. Like in other parts of life, of course, I don't like, I make sure I'm not saying just anything, you know, because I don't want to say something and then feel like, oh well, you know, that information could come back and fly and hit me in the face because I felt like it wasn't real. But like, we're sharing information that's real. Like, I don't, if my heart feel it and say share it, like, I don't care if it seemed like it may not be, you know, something that's real in essence, you know, to my ego, to my humanity. It's like, bruh, spirit has more wisdom and knowledge than my physical being and my, you know, my human self. So share that information, you know. And again, back to that point, like, and if it happens to which in essence, if you follow your heart, it won't be wrong. But let's just say just in case it just happens to be the wrong. So say for instance, you might have made a mistake and wasn't fully in tune with your heart, or some of the information a little off. All right, oh well, at least you got to put it out there to where we could learn, because we learn from each other's mistakes, you know. Now you saw that, all right, some of that information was right, not all, but what's the worst that could happen, you know? You just going, all right, I was partly not fully correct with that. Let me continue to channel more information, or do more research, whatever the case may be, you know, when we keep it moving. But definitely, you know, again, we the people bringing down the new knowledge. I always bring up that situation with, like, you know, matter of fact, Ashe, Dr. Sebi. But like how, you know, Dr. Sebi got his list, but who's to say there's not another human walking around right here that has even more information dealing with, you know, certain fruits and vegetables that we should and shouldn't eat, you know? So with that being said, you know, just always stay open to whatever your intuition or your higher self is bringing down to you. Excuse me. But that's basically it. Peace. Happy now. Now is the vibe rate. The rate at which we're vibing. Not going too far in the future. Not go too far in the past. Right now. I don't know what accent that little African mix with Jamaican. Shout out to all my brothers and sisters, everybody with all different accents and different languages, and you know, it's cool for us to clown each other's accents, you know. There's no maliciousness in it, you know, just all fun. We reflections of each other. Peace, y'all.